Bus company Putco has failed to resume its services today as planned. A group of bus drivers continue to gather outside the main bus depot in Dobsonville, Soweto. The striking workers are preventing bus services from resuming until an agreement is reached with the employer. The workers are demanding that the company honour its previous wage deal signed in 2020 for a 6% wage increase and bonuses. Labour union NUMSA is leading the talks and says the employer has tabled a new offer that has been taken to the workers. SABC News Economics Reporter Katlego Legodi has more.
Workers' unions said Putco have been engaged on marathon meetings with the employer to try bridge an impasse between the employees here that have been on strike for about 2 weeks now and the employer that they accuse of negotiating with them in bad faith. This saw them moving from depot to depot today in trying to explain the new wage offer from the employer, trying to also get a mandate from the employees that are on strike if that new proposal or new offer it will be satisfactory to them, in a move that will see them resuming operations here on the ground. The best person that will just let us in on the latest coming out of the negotiations here at Putco is NUMSA spokesperson Pakamile. Pakamile, a long day, a long evening as well last night where those talks are concerned, and we saw that process initiated this morning of embarking and going from depot to depot and presenting the new offer to the workers. Just let us in on what entails that new offer and if indeed that new offer has been accepted by the workers here on the ground.
Yes, a very, very long day. We were engaged in talks that went on for many hours yesterday. But suffice it to say, this proposal has been presented to workers at Dobsonville this morning. The proposal is that the employer, Putco, is willing to give workers their 6% increase. However, it's going to implement it from the 1st of October going forward. It is saying in the proposal that it is not backdating this increase. The second thing that is on the table is the payment of the bonus. Putco is agreeing to pay bonuses. However, it's saying it's going to pay them over in terms of monthly increments. So in other words, it's not going to pay the bonus as a once-off payment. It's going to pay it over the next 12 or 18 months, depending on the option that's been chosen. And it will go on up until the agreement expires in March next year. Also, what they're proposing is that in regards to the 105 who were dismissed, Putco is saying that it is not going to allow these 105 to return immediately. They will have to undergo a separate disciplinary process, and it will be at that internal disciplinary process where they will have to make representations on whether they are to be dismissed or not. Workers at the depot here in Dobsonville have expressed their views, and they've made it clear that they don't accept this proposal on the basis primarily of the fact that the 105, they believe that the 105 should have been allowed to return unconditionally. They believe that this was a strike not of 105 workers, but of more than 1,000 workers at Putco, and they think it is unfair that these 105 are being isolated. They are being told that they must stay out whilst others are being allowed to come back to work. So that is a sticking point. And the other sticking point is the fact that the company does not want to backdate the increase. You must understand that this increase was actually an increase that we agreed to in 2020. And if the employer is saying that they're only going to pay it from October this year, it means that workers will only get that increase up until the agreement expires, which is in March next year. I want to emphasize that this is the response of Dobsonville only. We still have to solicit responses from other depots as well. We will be giving our comprehensive response as NUMSA to the employer later this afternoon.
And this on the ground, meaning that the strike action continues this afternoon, something that we saw halting operations here on the ground. Am I right in my assessment?
Well, I think we can make that presumption. We must remember that this is not a strike of the unions, so we're not making the call in terms of whether it's continuing or not. But you were here, you saw what they said. They made it clear that they're not happy with the proposal, and as far as they're concerned, the strike will continue until the employer accedes to some of these issues that I've raised.
Thank you very much for your time. That is the NUMSA spokesperson. Indeed, the discontentment continues here on the ground, where those bus as drivers are concerned, it's back to the drawing board really for the unions in terms of negotiating to see or bring to an end this demonstration here on the ground. But workers not really happy with the new offer, them saying that they're going to be continuing with their demonstrations on the ground, and this could only mean that operations would remain halted. Those are bus operations at Putco, and commuters will again this afternoon be forced to find alternative means of transport. Katlego Legodi, SABC News, Johannesburg.